harassment or threatening behaviour.
Police have, of course, put out those images of people they wish to speak with in relation to these latest anti-Semitic incidents, and they're asking anyone who has information on those individuals to come forward.
Julia, thank you. Joining me live now for more on this is co-CEO of Australian Jewry, Peter Wertheim. Peter, thank you for your time today. Firstly, how are you feeling?
Well, like the rest of the community, of course, we're shocked and dismayed and angered, I think, by the continuation of these incidents. No one has yet been charged or prosecuted for any of these incidents, and of course that itself raises a concern not just for the Jewish community, but I would have thought for the wider community as well, because the lesson of history is that, as we've been warning for the last 14 or 15 months, hateful words inevitably escalate into violent deeds, and when they do, everyone is at risk.
It's abhorrent and out of control. There is a photo there that we just showed on the screen of one of the alleged perpetrators. There's been no leads, though. Should there be a reward here for information to make some arrests here or make some progress?
Look, whatever can be done to identify and charge and prosecute the offenders should be done, in my view, including the offering of a reward and also encouraging people to come forward with information, which has been done, of course. The motivation for these attacks will not be known until the offenders have been identified and charged and prosecuted, and then we will have some idea of what is motivating this spate of incidents. We can, however, say, just by looking at the graffiti which you're showing on your screen now, that there is a convergence of the motifs in these in this graffiti between extreme right-wing, extreme left-wing, extreme Islamist motifs. And the distinction that is often drawn between these different categories of extremism is increasingly becoming a distinction without a difference.
There are calls for mandatory prison sentences for perpetrators of these kind of attacks of hatred. Is that something that you would support as well? And I guess, is that dealing with the core of the issue here?
Well, things like arson and malicious damage to property already carry the potential for prison sentences, and having mandatory prison sentences, I think, would send a message at least. I don't think it would hurt, but look, those provisions are there. What's necessary is to see some people being apprehended and charged and prosecuted for these offences. That will be the most significant thing that government can do to send the message out to the community that this sort of behaviour will not be tolerated and that there will be severe consequences for any future conduct of that sort.
I mean, the rise in anti-Semitism in Australia since Hamas's attack on October 7 is simply horrifying. We are also in an election year this year. Which party do you feel will be better suited to keep you and the Jewish community safe?
Well, look, I'm not going to get into party politics, particularly with a federal election pending sometime in the next 6 months. We are hopeful that this will be a bipartisan issue, that both the major parties will do the right and the responsible thing and come up with a unity ticket on the need to combat this significant rise in anti-Semitic incidents and anti-Semitic discourse that we've seen since October the 7th, 2023, and to send the right message. Because once it becomes party political, it becomes a matter of community division, and that is not the right way to approach this problem, in our view.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts on this, the calls for a dedicated national cabinet?
Oh, well, we made that call ourselves in correspondence with the Prime Minister more than a month ago, and we repeated that in a meeting with the Prime Minister 2 weeks later. So, yes, that is a call that we ourselves have made at the Executive Council of Australian Jewry.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. Please take care, and thanks for talking to us at what is a really difficult time for the Jewish community.
Thanks so much for your coverage.
OK, coming up next after this short break, the Australian dollar falls to its lowest level, adding to cost of living pressures. We'll have more on that next.